Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Today I want to go over a new script that I produced using Cloud AI. Basically what it does is it acts like a kind of like a chaos engineer and essentially breaks the Kubernetes system that I have deployed in a single node using the hardware, right? Via systemd. And so the purpose of this video is essentially for me to kind of try to go through some of the scenarios and essentially break the cluster. After breaking the cluster, I try to attempt to diagnose and fix whatever it is that's been broken. So with that, let's get started. Uh, I'm here on GitHub showing where the script is. It's currently in this directory here under my CKA Exam GitHub repo, and basically it's just called break cluster.sh, and the way that you use it is you execute the script and then you pass in the scenario that you want to run. Ideally, if you're doing this for the first time or any time really, you kind of want to avoid reading this script, because if you read the script, then essentially you know what it's breaking and you're essentially spoiling it for yourself. So the idea is for you to run the script. If you want to, sure, you can read through it, um, but again, the idea is for you to run the script. It will SSH into the virtual machine, and then after SSHing into the virtual machine, it will run a series of steps to break the cluster, like I mentioned earlier. So let's go ahead and do one of the scenarios. And before we do one of the scenarios, like here's the help menu, so you can see here. So we have description options that you can pass in. Uh, it's either an option or a scenario. In this case, we have in this script, I believe there's 15 scenarios, and you can confirm that by just doing a list, and it will tell you the number of scenarios there are, and then we can run it. So, all right, let's go ahead and run the script to do scenario run. And it looks like it's hanging, but it's not. So remember, it's going to log onto the system, break something, might have to restart a service or something in order for that breakage to reflect, and then you can then log onto the cluster and try to fix it. So let's log into the virtual machine. All right, we are logging onto the virtual machine. It says, diagnostic starting points, right? Let's do a system status. In prior videos, what I did was I created this kind of status script, and in that status script, it runs the uh, status commands for all the systemd services. So we could run that, and let's see what's happening here. So it looks like the kube-controller-manager is not working. Looks like that's broken. I wonder why that's broken. It just says exit one failure on the controller-manager. So if there's something wrong with the this service, what we could do as a starting point is run journalctl on it and see what the logs say. I'm not root, so let's fix that and try that again. All right. So what's the error? It says there no authentication kubeconfig provided. Is there a legit problem with? Okay, so here it is, right here. Failed to discover resources the server has asked for. The client I know what we can do. Let's do this. Export pager equals cat. And let's try that one more time. I'm not sure if this will work, but yeah, okay. So let's see. Here's the exit. Error, building controllers failed to discover resources. The server has asked for the client to provide credentials. Okay. So it's trying to acquire leader lease. Interesting. So does that mean that we lost the notes? kubectl get notes. I should probably spell correctly. All right. That's not the issue. Nodes are good. Get pods. Pods are running. Let's just try doing systemctl restart. What is this that's failing? Is this the kube-controller-manager? What did we run? Systemctl restart. All right. So now let's do another status. All right. So kube-controller-manager, so proxy, kubelet, containerd, scheduler. So controller manager is good. Um, hmm. So oh, okay. So now I can't get any nodes, or no nodes exist. So one of the things that I know that keeps all the information or resources is in the data store of Kubernetes, which is etcd. So something must have happened with etcd, meaning it cannot see the data. So I know that the data is in varlib etcd. Obviously, we're not root, so we can't see anything. All right, so the data is still there for etcd. Sudo system ctl status etcd. Can I do this pager equals cat? Okay, yeah, great. But it doesn't show the full command that's running. But what we could do is we can inspect the etd service file. So let's do that and see what it's pointing to. Well, there it is. Obviously, again, I'm not root. So let's try that again. The data dir is pointing to etc bad. Does that even exist? That'd be the question I have. Varlib etcd dash bad. It does, but the reason why it exists is because etcd was just started, so it essentially re-initted. That's why it exists. So but it's starting as from scratch. So let's go ahead and open up etcd. Let's put this back to the original folder. So etcd, and then let's do a daemon reload, and I'll restart on etcd. Now that we've restarted etcd after the daemon reload, I want to check the status of etcd, and I want to do, actually, instead of a status, what I want to do is pager equals cat, and then journalctl minus u etcd. Okay, and you can see, you can actually see now here that it's using the right folder. What was it? Does it show like etcd-bad before? Yeah, it was. You can see it right here. All right, so let's, now that etcd is back up, successfully serving client traffic securely, Okay, so it is up now. I want to do another status command and check on things. So, I mean, etc obviously still shows active, it's running. What happens when I do a get nodes this time? Okay, so the nodes are there. And can I do a get pods? Yes. I want to reschedule the, or restart the service we had seen earlier, the kube-controller-manager, just to make sure that we see everything. Because last time it was showing us error, and we couldn't see like any other resource. No nodes, no pods, no nothing. And after restart, I mean, it was working, but again, there wasn't anything there. Okay, so restarted it. Let's do another status script. kube-controller-manager is still inactive, it's running, and you can see there it was restarted 32 seconds ago. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's do a get nodes after we restarted the, yep, and then a get pods. Get pods. Okay, perfect. So they're good. All right. The next thing I want to do, CD workspace, cluster setup, VM, single system D, and then here I want to rerun the script. This time I want to choose something else, a different scenario. We just ran scenario 1, so let's do, oh, I don't know, pick randomly 5. Okay, that was quick. All right, so wonder what it broke this time. So, okay, the first set of steps we should do for uh, diagnosing, right? It says to run a status. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, the scheduler is broken this time. Why is the scheduler broken? Okay, is there anything else that's broken? No, just the scheduler. Okay, so let's do a sudo journalctl -u kube scheduler. Okay. And I want to put everything out in the screen. Okay. No such file. Oh, okay. So it's complaining that the Kubernetes config, the scheduler YAML is missing. Um, so what file? This looks to be like an input, maybe in the systemd file. There's like an argument where you pass this in. Okay. So does this exist? No. And we're gonna need sudo here actually. But let's see what we have in here. Okay, so it's called kube-scheduler. All right, so yeah, okay. I think what happened was, we're dealing with a systemd service. So the systemd, possibly the systemd service for the kube-scheduler has been broken. So let's take a look at the kube-scheduler, the service. All right, so there it is. So this here needs to change to what now? Kube-scheduler. Okay. Kube-scheduler. Okay. And I think everything else looks good. Okay. All right. So that has been adjusted. Now let's do a daemon reload and a restart on the kube-scheduler service. And then we'll do a sudo journalctl -u kube-scheduler, and let's follow. Okay. Oh, but I see it has a lease now. Instead of follow, what we'll do is we'll do a pager equals cat and see what the difference is. I mean, off the bat, I can see that there's definitely a difference. Question is, all right, so I think here's where it got started. Then here's all the CLI args. And then I should see here, yeah, here it is. Okay, so it's using the right config path this time, and then it came up. All right, so that means I should be able to do another status. And let's check the kube-scheduler service. All right, the kube-scheduler service is running. Can I do a get notes? Get notes. Okay, everything's there. What about a get pods? Yes. Okay, so nodes are there, pods are there, so that's good. All right, that means we've somewhat been able to um, fix that problem. And we can also run this health check here. It returned okay, so that's good. That's okay. This should just be that. All right. Yeah, good. Perfect. All right. The That was scenario 5. We did 1, 5. Um, there should be 15. There's 15. So we did 1, 5. Let's do, I don't know, 10. Okay. All right. And just remember that if you see it looks like it's hanging, it's not. It isn't necessarily hanging. It's probably restarting a service or stopping a service, and that may that might take some time. So just let it do its thing, and once it's done, then just like above, right? Uh, Once it's done, then we can go ahead and uh, go start doing our troubleshooting and fixing. But we're still waiting for the. There you go. So okay, so it did its thing. It said break applied. Good luck. Okay, let's clear this up and see what's broken. Okay. Hmm. So far, I don't see, at least at service level, I don't see anything broken. At least the services are active. Um, excuse me. Let's do again notes. I can see the notes. I can see the pods. So what's broken? What did we did 10, right? All right. So we did, let's do this. Oh, okay. So that's not good. Right. So 6443, I think that's the API server. And saying something about forbidden authentication. Hmm. So API server. Okay. Sudo pager equals cat journalctl kube API server. Minus u. Whoa, that's a lot. Uh, Error. While dialing, operation was canceled. Failed to connect to 2379. Server name, balance attributes. Okay. Let's see what it broke this time. Again, dialing TCP. So can't talk. Why can't it talk? Error, connection. Failed to talk to two. Why can't it talk? So is there something wrong with one of the encryption config? So 2379. Isn't that all right? So let's take a look at the kubelet service, not the kubelet service, kube API service. System status kube API service. System CT. Okay. Kube API. What is the kube API server? Oh, server. Server. Okay. Here's the file. Okay. Advertise. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but oh, etcd servers. So that's etcd. So if it can't talk to etcd, why can't it talk to etcd? Okay. Is etcd good? Etcd. It is running at least. Oh, rejected connection on client. Why did it reject the connection? So let's look at that. Journalctl minus u etcd. Started etcd service. Failed to publish local member cluster through wrath. Was the etcd service changed again? Let's look at the service for etcd. Mode 1, cert, token, node. So it's advertising. Oh, wait a minute. So here are all the certs. And I think the one it needs are these two. So if I compare this, what server? That's not the one that I want. API server. Wait a minute. It's active? It's running now? There's nothing broken. Maybe it was just an intermittent failure? No, 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 no. The failure was with the curl command that we did earlier. It's still showing this. Oh, isn't this in the system anonymous? I think there's a cd etc Kubernetes, and in here, okay, yeah, config. That's the scheduler. It's not what I want to see. No, it's in the. I want to look at the API server one more time. The service file. And in here, is there a config file? I don't see a config file. However, there's supposed to be an option here that allows me to be able to do anonymous requests. Authorization mode. There it is. Authorization mode is set to always deny. So I don't think that that's correct. I think that needs to change. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna copy this binary here. Okay, that needs to be something else. Let's do a --L and check for authorization mode. Audit, audit. Where's the authorization? Advertise address. Shut down, delete, encryption, secure service, ELS, audit, audit, anonymous auth, which is what we're doing, but what's the one that we're looking for? No, it's authorization. Authorization mode. So it's supposed to be RBAC and is RBAC missing? Role-based access control, and so let me see. So let's open up the kube-apiserver service. I'm pretty sure that this needs to be RBAC. What I'm not sure about is the AlwaysDeny. So let's copy that, and then so this is the API server. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up the Kubernetes documentation and pull it up on the screen for the, and this is the API server, right? API server. I think this is here, right here. Okay, now the question is overview. No, it's not it. Over here. Here it is. Okay. Order list of plugins to do authorization on secure port defaults to always allow if authorization config is not used. Comma, delimited list, always allow, always deny. Okay. You know that at a minimum we need RBAC. I just don't know off the top of my head what Node does, and if we need it, and if we also need always allow. So let's add the RBAC one in. I think we did that already. And it's a list, so delimited by a comma, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, strings, ordered list, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and save this file, do a daemon reload, and then we're going to restart the API server. All right, and then we're going to do another curl. Hey! Yeah. I should probably do this right. Okay. All right. That fixed that. Now, I want to actually confirm that that was the actual fix, so I'm going to cheat a little and take a look at the script on that scenario. So that was scenario 10. So scenario 10, scenario underscore 10. Okay. So it's supposed to be node and RBAC. Yeah. So I knew I had needed RBAC. I just didn't know I needed node. All right. So let's go and let's go ahead and fix that. Change that. It would be node and RBAC. Now, before I go restarting things, what I want to do is I want to check the logs of the API server. So let's do a journalctl on the kube-apiserver server. Because what we did was we just added RBAC back. So everything that communicates via RBAC should work. But I don't know what node does. So this, I think, is the old error. What time was this at? 2038, 2028, 32? It was like, what's that, 2 minutes ago? 2.5 minutes ago? And then I think still seeing some failures though. LC failed. Let's do another curl. I mean, it's returning okay now. I want to do a quick little Google. Just to see what authorization mode node does. Equals node. What does using node authorization? Oh, huh. Yeah, that's it's a little important. Kubelet wouldn't work. Okay, so I'm curious then. What's this? How is Kubelet work? Is Kubelet working? Journal journalctl minus u kubelet service error updating stat. Okay, yeah, forbidding user. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense now. Okay, so I think we've already fixed the service. What we have not done was a daemon reload and a restart after adding the node authorization. So that breaks both kubelet and etcd. Actually, everything that pretty much tries to talk to the API server. Um, so I'm glad that I was able to figure that one out. Almost started sweating there. All right, let's not count our chickens just yet. Let me wait for this restart on the API server. We'll do another health check and just some basic health sanity checks across the board, see how things are. It's interesting that the systemd service wasn't complaining. I'm wondering if there's another like a health check for the kubelet. There probably is one. Let's see. Authenticating, authorization using RBAC. Let's just type here like health check. Kubernetes API health endpoints. It'd be kubelet. Kubelet health check. I guess what we could do is find the kubelet service and then see if it's advertising on anything. But before then, we've updated the service file, the daemon reloaded, restarted the API service. Now let's go ahead and do a curl like we did earlier. So that's still functioning. And I want to check the journalctl for kubelet this time. Okay, I'm not seeing the it doesn't look like it's failing to connect now. I mean, I do see some of this here, but we restarted kubelet. When was this? Let's try this. No, what we restarted was the API server. We have not restarted kubelet. So what we could do is restart kubelet. Sudo systemctl restart kubelet. And then let's do another journal on kubelet, and this time follow. I mean, I restarted. Okay, so it was, and then watching API server. Okay, so I think this is good now. I think we're good now. So in this scenario, the API server authorization mechanism was essentially set to always deny, which wouldn't allow any of the services that need to talk to it. They abruptly become not able to connect to be authorized. So we restarted API service. We restarted kubelet. I think it'd be prudent to try and do a restart of all the services. Um, I'm going to start from the bottom up. So I have this status script here. Just because almost everything talks to the API service, so I'm going to create another script that just like restart. Um, and the purpose of this restart script will essentially be to restart all of the services. So let's do search and replace. So we're going to replace for status the word restart. We're going to do this globally. Okay. And I don't think we need this whole pager thing. All right. So we have the restart script. Let's do that with sudo. Probably not a good idea to do it this way because if you're restarting everything all at once, you probably have some race conditions. Probably want to do like, for example, etcd, wait for it to come back online, then the next service, and then the next service, and then the next service. But I'm a bit in a rush right now. Already been recording for 49 minutes, almost 50. Let's go over here and then do SSH. Oh, okay, good. Kill it. I knew it. Yeah. All right, but it restarted. Okay, it restarted now. Okay, so help see. Okay, perfect. So I can talk to the API server. Um, and then let's check the status of kubelet. Okay. Journal. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good on kubelet side. Yeah, we're good with this scenario, I think. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here for now. Just because it would take way too long to go through all the scenarios and record them. But hopefully you understood the gist of what the script does and the benefit that it can provide you if you attempt to use it. So essentially, to recap, the script is there as a tool to help you learn how to troubleshoot, uh, diagnose, and fix a broken Kubernetes cluster by introducing kind of like a chaos engineering aspect. Now, you yourself, the user, will need to do the troubleshooting and the diagnosing. And if you don't know something, then instead of going to the script at first, I would probably try to search the Kubernetes documentation, like I did earlier, where we were looking at the authorization um, documentation, where we noticed that the using node authorization is very important for kubelet. So I hope that you learned something. I know I did, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.